You know, with Triumph, you know, they had a message that was like, you know, never surrender, fight the good fight, hold on to your dreams, you know. And I'm proud of that. I think that's a great legacy that the band has, that we were a band of motivation and inspiration.
I think you got a choice of how you live your life, and I don't, you know, bear grudges, and I don't let those kind of feelings, you know, cloud my perspective on what happened overall, and I feel really good about Triumph.
Every little thing we did was, even something minor, was a great achievement, and you know, just felt lucky enough that you got to live your dream.
You're watching the story of Triumph. Now, this is the story of three friends that took their brand of Canadian hard rock music to the international stage. But after the rise was the fall, when the art was taken over by business, and those three friendships dissolved. Tonight, for the first time since 1988, Triumph members Rick Emmett, Mike Levine, and Gil Moore talk openly and freely about the story of Triumph.
The first time I ever saw live drums, it just blew my mind. It was up in Port Elgin at the casino, which subsequently burned down, but I saw this band called the Comets. And I was in the audience, and I don't even think I was old enough to get into whatever it was, this you know, beach dance. And got up close to the stage, saw a guy hitting these drums that had that red sparkle finish. And it just looked like, wow, what could be better than that, hitting those things? And it was like a trance I went into. I just sat there and watched him for the whole show. And that was it, I was hooked.
Let's fucking read it any way you feel it. That's what this is all about, yeah. Rock and roll machine, faster than you ever seen. Rock and roll machine, all those eyes looking at you, yeah. Hey! Ooh, baby, you're crazy now if you try to steal the show.
I was pretty naive when it all started. The other two guys already had something up and rolling that they were looking for somebody to come in and sort of function as a front man. Who's going to come and front this thing and you know, write songs and be the guy? But they had this vision of a three-piece pyrotechnical, you know, extravaganza kind of rock band, and they already had a little bit of a recording deal thing happening with Attic Records, and I think that was Mike's connection there into the record business. And Gil already had, you know, a little PA business, so we already had gigantic PA stuff because his garage was full of PA stuff. He was renting it to all the local Mississauga bands in his neighborhood and stuff, so they already had stuff up and running.
It was just what you wanted to do, and, you know, making a living at it didn't really enter into the equation. Remaining gainfully unemployed has been something I've done my whole life.
We hadn't planned it, and it just happened. So for, you know, Rick and I were able to play off each other a lot. You know, we just get together and go, let's try this, you know, and leave Gil in the dark, and he'd have to try and catch up with us. Or we'd have to try and catch up with him, depending. But yeah, it was always amazing. You know, it was amazing to me that we were able to make that many records and play that many concerts and be able to please that many people. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is, you know, you don't do it for yourself, you do it for the public.
It was all a pleasant surprise in the initial stages. As the band got off the ground, it was good. It was solid, and it was very positive. It started well. And then we went through a little period where I wasn't sure. And we'd been making the records, and things were going good, but we'd sort of overextended ourselves a little bit, and were we going to get a U.S. deal or not? And then when that landed and that sort of happened, then it was all very positive, and I was pleasantly surprised again for a long period of time.
When you and Mike first started Triumph, did you ever believe it would become this big?
Yes, we had a lot of confidence in what we were doing. We believed in it, believed in each other. Well, we didn't believe it until we got Rick.
Hold on to your dreams. Hold on, even though it seems everyone around you has their little schemes. Listen to your heart. Hold on to your dreams.
I think that we're going to do all right because we always give 100% when we play live, and we always make the best records that we can instead of relying on some sort of a reputation or something like that.
I realized after 2 or 3 tunes, when we played our very first show, we played at a high school in Simcoe, Ontario, and it was instant. It was just absolutely instantaneous. The response to the band was really good, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen before. And it was funny because when I looked at Mike's bands, Rick's bands, my bands, none of them really had a good, good feedback. But for whatever reason, the 3 of us together, just something clicked.
Ladies I love are living in the USA. No, I'm talking about American girls. They got what I need, American girls. What I want, American girls.
When you guys were down in Pittsburgh recently, you had the #1 record there for 5 weeks.
It was pretty crazy. There was a lot of little girls in the hotel lobby and people climbing on the car as we drove away from the venue and stuff like that. It was kind of crazy.
You guys at the point now where you can walk down the street and say, hey, you're from Triumph, I know you.
Some places we can't walk down the street.
The very first sort of inroads laid was in Texas for this band?
Yeah, Texas was really our first, San Antonio in particular, was the first place that we really broke in America.
It was fascinating. We thought, how could somebody like us that far away? How did they find out about us? How did they hear about us? It was the start of a tornado.
These radio guys in San Antonio started playing it, in the midnight radio show or whatever, and we were getting airplay, and then they were getting great phones. People loved it.
And the record company started exporting records into the market, and pretty soon we were a big item in that town.
What happened there was, I think it was Sammy Hagar, I'm not sure, but somebody was supposed to be doing a show at the Municipal Auditorium in San Antonio, and they got sick, and they couldn't do it. And it was like this last-minute call.
So they phoned us and asked if we would headline. And we're going, oh, yeah, sure, that's really easy to do. We were not prepared at all to be able to do that, but kind of sucked our guts in and said, let's go do it.
We stepped into this thing that was like really sort of American rock and roll vibe.
We sold out at San Antonio Municipal Auditorium, and the fans went nuts. It was like crazy. It was and then we knew we had something special.
But with us, it seemed like as soon as we got in the United States, not only were we accepted down there right away, but it seemed to have a lot of impact back here in Canada.
We were really great friends in the band. I mean, it's not like we were, some bands that just hate each other all the way through. And, we toured with a lot of bands that would be like that. We'd be, I can remember having UFO as our opening act for a long time. And it was funny because we thought these guys would kill each other by the end of the tour. There were so many fights going on backstage. It was amazing. And, we were just never like that.
It's like we were the Three Musketeers. One for all for one, and that's how we started the band, and that's how we continued on.
The 3 of us working as a sort of a cohesive unit, like a family almost. And every album that we make, that sense of family grows too, It's, you really feel the team thing.
And Triumph's always been a team. And so when we go in to make records, it's the same thing.